Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm MaryAnne and you're watching MaryAnne's Mystic Mentions. And welcome to my Sun Sign Love series. And welcome to the new moon in Cancer. So for all of you watching, and I greatly appreciate that you're tuning into my channel, I am lighting my new moon intention candle that I light every month for you. And it has a beautiful amethyst crystal in there to ward away the unwanted psychic and darker energies that are not welcome in my sacred space here, and I'm sure in your life as well, because it's all about improving. And the new moon in Cancer, the watery element, the emotional side, the heart opening chakra, love of family, of our dearest and nearest and dearest, however you want to say it, is so prevalent right now. I'm emotional saying it to you, and I always truly invite everybody to write out their intentions of how they want to further these connections, this love they feel, this compassion. Yes, it has to do with our relationships with others, absolutely. It's really about our relationship with ourselves and how we want to open up, and maybe how we've been blocking the ability to love for way too long now, and trusting in that part of us, trusting in our heart. It will lead us in the right way. We just have to be completely trusting, right? So that's a beautiful, powerful energy and planetary force that's happening for all of us right now. But what I love is with the sun sign reading I'll be doing today, if you're new, what I do is pick two sun signs and I read specifically a little bit about each sun sign and why I think that there's a good compatibility between this love connection, whatever that love connection is. And then I read your specific messages with the tarot and the oracle energies and my psychic and intuitive guidance that I can bring forth in addition to what I'm reading from the oracles. And also, this is from the Gilded Tarot today. And I'll mention the oracles as I go along. But in the order of the astrology wheel, I've been doing a little more streamlined. I have Scorpio today. And then I did roll the dice just before for time's sake, because it's a lot of duplicates now happening. And we are on Virgo. So it's the sun sign connections of Scorpio and Virgo, which I can't even tell you how many times I've seen this compatibility, this connection. And it's strong, and it's lasting, and it's really beautiful. So I'll talk a little bit about that. So, and as I'm talking, I'll be shuffling and putting out the cards as they come up, because I like to have a real good mix. Now, today's July 20th with the new moon. So this is a specific reading under 4 major categories for today. And the two of you and how things are resonating and what you can kind of be expecting moving onward for the rest of the month. Sometimes longer. You know, there's no cut definitive answer with energies when it comes to spirit. But yeah, that beautiful energy of the new moon, which is actually in, Pacific Standard Time in about an hour from now. It's not quite happening, but you can feel it. I've felt it, and I've awakened and had some very prophetic dreams and interesting dreams. So I'm sure the water signs, in particular Scorpio, is definitely resonating, and it's a positive energy for the water signs in general. So anyway, Scorpio. Scorpio is a water sign. Scorpio is ruled by the planet Pluto, which is all about transformation. It is about going deep. It can be a very critical self-analysis type of a planet that can just beat ourselves up until we realize that we have every capability in our body and our mind and soul to regenerate, to transform. This is the whole major aspect of what makes a Scorpio tick. The 8th house represents Scorpio as well. That's all about death, sex, life, rebirth, the very, very important deep subject matters that not everybody wants to approach, but are so very much a part of life. Scorpio has that down pat. They get that. It's innate in them. Scorpios are not surfacey people. You know, they're always wanting to go deeper. And they are very controversial as far as their overall energy. I mean, I have met so many different types of Scorpios. So to say they're one specific way, I can't do that. I can't honestly do that in good conscience. I have met reserved and shy Scorpios. I've met incredibly outgoing and friendly Scorpios. I've met cold and aloof. I've met warm and, you know, engaging. It's so remarkable how changeable I have seen. So that in itself is a kind of a mystery, which leads to the fact that Scorpios are very mysterious in a lot of ways and secretive. Now, these are generalizations in some way, but, you know, this is the sun sign I'm reading for. It's the personality, basically, the illumination that the sun brings to us for our ego and our desires and our strengths. And it is the month we're born. So that can relatively speak of seasons as well, which all enter into why we are attracted to certain people or signs or elements and not so much others, which is the fascination that I absolutely love. Speaking of which, a lot of occupations that have been notably associated with Scorpios are spiritual leaders, psychics, you know, intuits, scientists, surgeons, you know, going deep, like I said. And I mean, a surgeon certainly goes beneath the surface, yes, to get out and to improve and to transform the body and rejuvenate it once again. So there's an intensity with Scorpio, though. There's no getting around that. And they have a drive and powerful force behind them like none other. They have, the intensity, like I said, is there. And it's just this idea that whatever they put their mind to, they're going to go full tilt, incredibly able to focus and be laser sharp in their drive and their endurance. It's really unmatched. And they are their happiest when they are doing something that lightens them and gives them that focus that just fills them, you know, some kind of important passion that they have in their work, certainly in their relationships and in their romance. They're incredibly, deeply loyal friends and lovers, and you know, they never forget somebody who's done something good to them or kind. And conversely, they can remember things that hurt them, and they will hold that for a long time. And you know what? They don't fool around. They're very, very keen. I mean, all water signs are psychic. That's a gift. I consider a gift that's been given to the water, because they have that ability to feel and to sense, and they live from their emotions, and they're water, so they're very affected by the tides and the currents and the things in life that have to do with feeling and sensing and such. But the Scorpio, in addition to the psychic ability in general, they understand the mind. They understand very clearly how people work. It's just one of those things with them. And it's almost a little frightening, because they kind of know things before you do at times. So I find it amazing, and I'm very attracted to that. And yeah, they're, you know, they don't necessarily jump into relationships. They might be slower in the formulating of it, not all the time, but I would say they're more cautious. And then when they're in and their heart's open and they know a lot about the human heart too, they're in for good. They are very, very loyal, very caring, can be possessive, you know, and definitely jealous at times. And they don't mind. They're not going to hide that. They're very open about that. Whether it's in their relationship or their friendships or whatever, they don't necessarily want to share that with everybody. You know, just one of the traits, you know, and not everyone has that. Not all of them have that, but it is a possibility. It's one of those traits that you would equate with the Scorpio versus other signs. All of us have a tendency to be jealous. It's an emotion that a lot of times we go through and transform into a better, higher energy, because it's really important that we ascend to that in our lifetimes. And I think that's something that Scorpios are always wanting to do. And once again, going back to the inheritance and the tradition and just the life force of beginning and ending is something that they like to share with others, and they like to leave to others and to help them to grow and really be the best that they can be. So there's a lot to say. There's a lot to say, but they're good with money. They tend to not spend it overly. You know, they're a little more conservative, and therefore they can amass great wealth in addition to their intelligence and their ability to excel in what they do. It's a beautiful sign, you know, and it keeps you going. It really does. Keeps you guessing at times, but that's their allure. That's the magnetism that they provide. And then lastly, as far as their sexual drive, yeah, it's definitely there. That is their other way to really understand a person rather than the surface, you know, just meeting and everything. Because when you have that feel, that intensity and that passion that comes from a physical way, you can really know a person that way. I think we've all come to understand that. One of the best ways to know people is to have a beautiful sexual relationship. So they are definitely one of the top players in that regard as well. So then we go to Virgo. So this is interesting because it is also, I want to say that Scorpios are a fixed sign. So they're very pretty much set in their ideals. They're kind of black and white. They're not a pastel kind of sign, you know. It's pretty strong colors and objectives with them. So yeah, that would be the fixed part of them. And yet adaptable at the same time, and wanting to change a career or having a new interest, they'll go for that, and they can do it very well and very successfully. So, but the Virgo is the earth element. Now, I've said it before and I'll say it again, earth and water are excellent elements that work together. And there are 4 elements, right? So some work better with others. They all work in some way, you know, in some fashion. But I've always liked the 2, water and earth. And if you look at it in the, you know, just the very simplistic way, you've got earth, which is dirt and mud and compound that's necessary to have for sustenance and to grow food and so forth. But it's the water that actually nurtures it and brings the seeds to grow and to form different, you know, structure and feeling and molecules and that sort of thing. So very, very important for the 2 of them to feed off each other. And that's what you get with these 2. So the Virgo is the earth sign, and it's definitely way more reserved, and there's that reserved part of a lot of Scorpios, so there's that connection. The Virgos are a mutable sign, so they're very adaptable. Virgos are incredibly intelligent, very analytical, constantly wanting to learn more, wanting to go deeper like a Scorpio into any subject matter. You know, knowing that there's always more to learn, there's always more to understand, you know, and quite perfectionist in a lot of ways, which I didn't mention, but that's a tendency for Scorpio too. So they want to be the best, and that's very attractive to Scorpio. They are incredibly devoted as well. They are willing to understand and work through all challenges that may come about in relationships of all kinds. They are there to help you. They are some of the most kind-hearted, caring people. And that's important, you know, in any relationship. But when you have that desire from a Scorpio to just kind of be in this you and me, you know, exclusive kind of energy, it's going to be passionate. The Virgo would be less passionate originally, and you know, on the surface value aspect of it. They're not as flashy or as intense about that. But trust me, they're incredibly capable of deep passion. And that is found out by the two of them. And that's something that will definitely keep them together for years as well, because that's hugely important to the Scorpio. Now, the Virgo is ruled by the planet Mercury, and that's all about the mind and commerce and, continually studying and learning and growing and excelling in anything that they do. There's this beautiful kind of naive virgin purity to Virgos that really interests and perks the interest of Scorpio. There's both have this determination, both have this drive, both have this interest in security and amassing wealth, because I've known a lot of Virgos that are extremely good with money, and they're good with organization, and they're good with calculating numbers and understanding the importance of time and perseverance and all the things that are important. Earth signs are incredibly good in nature and growing gardens, and starting from the seeds up, and just beautiful energy with these two. And yet different, and that's what's really, that's the complementary aspect. It just works. It's just amazing. And there's only two signs apart. Virgo being in the ninth house. The ninth house is the higher mind and study and learning and romance. So that's a little bit about each one. What else can I say about the Virgo? Yeah, kind of, very adaptable and changeable, but they are very, very devoted and very loyal. Some of the best friends as well. So the combination of that, when the two of them find this love, it's going to be so strong and so passionate. And they're going to be happy with the two of them, building this home, building this family. They don't need to be around huge amounts of people, but, they certainly invite good friends and all walks of life into their home. They like to build, comfortable homes and stable homes. Not much for moving around much, I wouldn't say, unless they absolutely have to. I love this combination. So let's see what your cards have to say and the messages that come through for you, because I'm seeing some beautiful stuff. And I always like to start with the foundation. And you have the Two of Swords. So this is the element of air. This is the mind. This is the thoughts, what you've been thinking. What I like about the Two of Swords is that it has to do with a partnership, possibly two choices, two opportunities, maybe at a crossroad and making a decision about that. Maybe two of you have been really wondering about, something with, whenever it has to do with the air signs, it could definitely have to do with law, with money, with certainly ideas and communication, writing, speaking, legalities, like I said. But I feel like in this circumstance, and I've always believed this about this card, is it's going inside. You've got the blindfold so that you can kind of exclude the outer noise and know intuitively, which of course the Scorpio is very keen on, like I said, and come up with a decision that's going to work best for you. Either one is actually good, but there is one decision that has to be made, and I think this is something that the two of you have been experiencing to this reading up to this point. This is like the catalyst leading to today. So I'm not sure what that means for you. You can let me know, but it definitely has to do with communication and clear decision making, because there's been a lot of fog and a lot of controversial information coming for months now. But with the retrogrades having moved forward, we had Mercury now move forward, and that's definitely about communication, and it could have been very mixed up and confusing in the last 3 weeks plus with the shadow periods on either side. So it went forward, and there'll still be a little bit more time. It needs to kind of wake itself up, as you will. And then we have Mars forward, and that's in Aries, and boy, that's power, and that's determination, and it's fiery, so you have to be careful. You don't want to go crazy, and when you get over emotional, you don't want to say something that you don't mean. Mars is the planet of war and confliction sometimes, and it can be handled, and it's beautiful for the energy I spoke of, but we just want to make sure that we're not taking in or listening too much to people that are losing it, basically. Okay, it can happen, and that's going to be through January, so just be aware of that in your relationships. If you feel short-tempered, maybe just best to walk away or take those deep breaths. And then Venus went forward, so love is feeling really good, and once again with the emotion and the energies of Cancer right now in the water sign, I'm feeling really good love connections happening for all signs, but definitely for Scorpio and Virgo. So let's move on. The first sign is always the category of overall energy, and you have the Six of Wands, and that is the fire, and that is the victorious energy. And you've been waiting on a lot of things, and the wands represent what we do in our life. They're the fire, they're the Leo, the Sagittarius, and the Aries. I just mentioned that we have that fiery Mars in Aries, which is actually very comfortable in Aries. It's exalted in Aries, so because it ruled the planet that rules Aries. So there's fiery energy, and we're in Cancer season for what, another 2 days? And then it's Leo, so we're feeling that energy, and we're feeling this motivation and this drive and seeing things through now with all the retrograde and all the delays. Little by little, I've already felt it from a week ago, but one by one, every day is going to move towards our goals and towards our ambitions and our intentions, and building stronger, foundations in our relationships, in our homes, in our community, because this card with the 6 represents the balance from outward and inward, and you're getting cooperation, you're getting help from others. It's a beautiful, beautiful energy, but it's because of what you've worked for so very hard. And it's about the wands, it's about the action and the passion and the real hard work that you've put towards whatever it is. Beautiful, beautiful energy for the two of you. And this is also excellent because the next category is under possible blessings or obstacles. And you have the Ace of Wands. So there's the 2 fire right there. If you're not feeling passionate, this is really going to change it up, because it's really relative to our passions when it's Ace a lot of times. It is that revival of our passion. It is that next level. It's the beginning. It's the newness of relationships. It's kind of known as a phallic symbol in a lot of readings and definitions. It's on. It's here for you with that Mars for months. Make it happen, just enjoy and just embrace this wonderful energy of Cancerian heart loving energy, and then the devotion that you two have, with all the challenges and so forth. It's time to move out of that and just enjoy and have some fun and lighten it up and fire it up, and that's a blessing. So the newness and the transformation is very strong with the 3 eclipses we had too. So there's a lot still coming through from that. Sometimes they last 6 months upwards. So you can be feeling the revealing of that. Sometimes it happens instantly when the eclipses, they happen 3 in a row, like within 6 weeks. And there was a full moon eclipse, new moon, and then a full moon. And, the last one was Capricorn, and that's all about just cementing and making things permanent and long-lasting in a relationship. and making that decision, you know, I mean, getting married, moving in together, whatever it is, it's fiery, it's passionate, and it's gorgeous, especially when it comes to love and connection. So I love that for you. And then the next category, you have some gorgeous cards. A lot of them have been so beautiful, and it's we've been waiting for this, right? The next is the category of love, and you have the, is that the Four of Cups? It is. So for some reason, there has been something that was missing. And I don't know if that's because you couldn't be together. I don't know if it was communications were really messed up because of the retrograde, and it was in Cancer, so that's a water sign, and I think the Scorpio was feeling it very strongly. And there might have been a detachment somehow in the communication and the emotional side, which, you know, I mentioned that Scorpios can be extremely outgoing, but they can also go inward and try to figure things out and really work on what it is they need underneath the surface. It's always basically underneath the surface. Even though they may speak and appear one way, there's still things that are constantly happening there that they are working through. And so that's broken through. You've got the cup being offered, so it's right in front there, and it's like just saying, yes, take advantage of this time. Let go of the disappointments and the chaos that incurred for months, and recognize and hold on to the blessings that you feel, that special connection you feel. It's real. It's genuine. And it's really passionate right now. So go for it. Take some time, take a little vacation together. You both have beautiful, loving, caring hearts. Intensity is there. So I like that a lot. So just always remember, you know, people a lot of times when there's been a letdown or a disappointment, they think, and it's understandable, you know, we all do this, but you know, you have something happen that really hurts, or it's so hard to understand, and you're just like, oh my, and you focus on that because it's new, or it just happened, or you haven't figured it out. Turn your head to what you do have, what is beautiful, what's new, what's coming in, information coming in, opening up of the energy, loving energy from the new moons, 2 in a row now. Fiery things happening on all levels for everybody with Leo. And the last category is under the category of finances. And you have the High Priestess, Major Arcana. I mean, this is all about knowing exactly what you're capable of manifesting. This is the most strong, intuitive, beautiful, I would say co-creation kind of divine timing intervention that's going on, allowing that in, listening, feeling, something you're very capable of, and creating what kind of financial freedom or strengths that you know you can do, anything you want to put your mind to, and using your gifts to make that real, tangible, you know, knowing it, this is it. This is all about what we have right here. We always want to believe that the outer world is hugely responsible for what is happening. And I always want to say, from many years of hearing and reading and following and seeking, it's what we believe, what we are putting out, what we feel is what we're going to see in our world. Use that. Use that for the highest dreams, the highest intentions, and money will be unlimited, you know, it'll just continue to manifest for the two of you. And it's not like you're not intelligent, and when it comes to how to invest or using your money in the most proper way, I would say both of you take the cake, and you're up there in the ability to do so. And people look to you for that information because you're so good and so understanding, and it's just something that you comes naturally to you. So finances can be fantastic if they're not already. They're building, and they're getting better and stronger and more abundant for you. Just know it with everything you are. and enjoy it. Go on a little vacation, like I said. Do something for yourselves and celebrate. That's super important for any relationship. And this next category and information or message from the Oracle of the Relax deck. It's just that. It's taking in this information and using it as a mantra if you so wish, and really sitting with it, and it helps us to kind of feel that calm. Most messages in most spirit, actually I'm definitely doing this one. It's about, the allowing and allowing that information to come in and to listen, being still. So this is the Wisdom of the Hidden Realm Oracle. This is so incredibly uplifting and just all about love and inspiration and encouragement on our path and our capability, once again, to manifest. And just, the message is especially for the two of you. And last but not least, the Healing with the Angels Oracle from Doreen Virtue from so long ago. But our angels are there for us at any time. And they come in different forms, and they just want to share that they're there. You can talk to them. You can ask them questions. We have to do the work. We do have to utilize the information, but do ask them, because they can be very insightful for us. Okay, that makes perfect sense. So, in reading the first card, the Relax deck, just as a mantra, like I said, to kind of sit with. Beautiful picture, and I'm not remembering. Okay, the doves of peace. The pressure of modern life often create tension in our daily interactions with interaction with others. To rid yourself of negative feeling toward other people, you need to accept and even embrace personal differences. And that's so true right now. I mean, there's so much stuff going on, and we're all different, and that's what makes it such a beautiful mosaic, the life of all the different, and yet we're so much the same in a lot of ways, but I digress. Close your eyes and visualize the doves of peace floating gently across the skies on the warm trade winds. Their serenity stills your protesting thoughts, bringing tranquility back into your life. So I don't think it's a coincidence that the protesting words came out. There's a lot of protests. People need to be heard, and things need to change, and we know that, and that's what these eclipses have very clearly indicated. I'm all for it. I truly believe in that. But also at the same time, accepting of the differences and so forth, it's imperative, and that's a beautiful, I would say, synchronistic message with what's really happening in real time right now. And then the next is the Wisdom of the Hidden Realms, the Eagle King, the big picture, angelic help. The big picture. Number 12, that's 1 + 2 in numerology is a 3. So there you have, once again, this idea of cooperation from others, not just having to do it yourself, which you both are very capable and completely content and independent in whatever it is you decide to do. But your unity and your seeing of the big picture is really important right now. And I'm going to read to you what it says specifically. So number 12. Oops, there it is. The Eagle King is a sign that your highest destiny is within reach. You're on the right path now, even if you can't see where you're going. The Eagle King soars high above the mountains and valleys of life, and is able to see the big picture when you seem to be lost in a bit of fog. He makes a formidable ally, and he takes your prayers up toward the sun and releases them to the divine. They will be answered for the highest good of all. It's a fortunate omen when the Eagle King decides to be your ally. And that just makes me feel beautiful, sending that message to you. It's just for you. I actually haven't gotten this in a long time. And the ones that need to come out are absolutely the ones that do come out. So, last but not least, and I really, really love and appreciate this, especially now, is the angelic message to you both is your dreams. Follow your dreams, watch your dreams, and if you can, get a little dream log. Sometimes you wake up and you don't remember, but this energy with the new moon in Cancer in particular, this prophetic, beautiful, psychic energy, we're getting so many downloads and so much information, and they're coming through our dreams. And they can be a little bizarre, and in fact, we had the planet Neptune, which has gone into retrograde in Pisces for a little while. It'll be a while, but it's always about our dreams, our fantasy, illusions, you know, what's real, what isn't, deciphering that, and it comes very strongly when it's in retrograde through our dreams to sort that out and get those answers we need. So this is pretty cool to see that for you, and you may have already been experiencing this, so you can really resonate, and I hope that's the case. I want that for all the readings. If you don't right away, give it time and check it out in another week. These energies are flowing just like everything, you know, everything's ever changing and interchangeable. But these are definitely for you, and I love this combination, and I know there's a reason that you've been together, and I know you feel that. And I honestly have known people of Virgo and Scorpio combination, just years and years and years of devoted caring on all different levels, whether it be friendship or that close, committed, beautiful relationship and soul partner. So yes, if you liked it, do subscribe for me and give me a thumbs up and a comment. That is super important and very supportive for me. I appreciate it greatly. And in the meantime, as I always say, take great care of yourself. Know what's best for you and for others. Be safe. And until next time, I hope there's a next time and you'll come back. Bye for now.